While the LG Explorer project no longer exists due to the company's decision to exit the smartphone business, one of the phones that made it alive is now going at a heavily discounted price in some markets. In this video, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the LG Wing, probably the coolest smartphone that I've ever bought and owned. Is it worth buying even with such a heavy discount? Let's find out. The unique selling point of this phone is the fact that it can swivel out from the right to reveal a sizable second display, 3.9 inches to be exact. From the way it works to write down the intricate mechanisms, LG has nailed it with the swiveling hardware side. The build quality is solid for its price. You get the typical glass metal construction along with IP53 water and dust resistance and military standard 810G rating, which is there to give you a slight peace of mind. The 6.8-inch uninterrupted main display is very good. A 60Hz refresh rate is a slight letdown, but the reason for its absence is understandable. The pop-up selfie camera was a smart decision too. The second screen is of very good quality. It is quite sharp at 1080p, albeit with a different aspect ratio, and also matches the main display in terms of brightness. In my opinion, LG phones have one of the best auto brightness sensors and algorithms, as the auto brightness feature in this phone works very well. The technical specs are also well chosen. While the choice of going with the Snapdragon 765G has disappointed a few tech nerds, it is a blessing in disguise, since it packs in adequate power while also being power efficient, something that can't be said about the Snapdragon 800 series chipsets. The haptics are excellent for the price. It's quite sharp and very comfortable for long typing sessions. The cameras are very good, even if they seem lacking on paper. Photos from the 64 megapixel main camera in bright to dim lighting turned out to be detailed and pleasing. The 13 megapixel ultrawide retains most of the colors as the main camera, which is always a plus. The 32 megapixel selfie camera performed well too. The RAM and storage are adequate, 8GB of LPDDR4X and 128GB of UFS 2.1 respectively. The fact that there is a micro SD card slot is very appreciable. The design isn't the most original around. It gives out Galaxy Note 20 or Oppo Reno vibes. The Aurora Grey colorway is a fingerprint magnet, though the Illusion Sky colorway. The button placements aren't all that ergonomic in swivel mode. When the phone is in swivel mode, the buttons are hard to reach, though the software has a few workarounds. The battery life is mediocre for something with two screens. The 4000 mAh battery isn't adequate for such a device, but it's understandable as to why the battery couldn't be any larger. The speaker isn't so good for a phone that is made for multimedia enthusiasts, though the LG 3D sound engine and the equalizer may or may not make up for the mediocre speaker. The LG UX 9.2 skin really needs a lot of work. Its design isn't all that consistent and the system sounds are very similar to that of TouchWiz. The second screen UX does have a few random bugs, like the notification shade not appearing when you pull down from the status bar. Thankfully, these can be fixed with either closing and opening the phone again or a restart. Gimbal mode is probably the most overhyped aspect of this phone. While it works like LG said, the quality is very lackluster, and under dim to low light, it is useless unless you enable the flash. The low light camera performance is underwhelming, and night mode isn't the best around. Third-party accessory support is very lacking, thanks to the unique form factor. Snap-on cases for this phone are non-existent. Instead, cases need to be glued to the back. Finding good quality screen protectors are also a challenge of its own. The charging aspect is disappointing. For starters, at the cost of that discount, we lose a charger in the box. as seen in the unboxing video. The charge times can also be different depending on the type of charger you use. While the software itself is passable, the software support is questionable. As of yet, it hasn't received a single update and is stuck on Android 10 with the January 2021 security patch. Android 11, 12 and 13 updates are also kinda uncertain. The LG Wing, despite many of its flaws, is a solid first try from LG. If you want a phone that is unique but does not look like it at first glance, then this phone is definitely for you. That being said, if you prioritize one category, say camera, then you have other options that will be more suited to your needs. In short, the LG Wing is a jack of all trades, one that also looks different.